All right, I was gonna put on like some music, guys, but I don't want to make this too long because I'm actually very tired. But I wanted to send out a very life-saving uh message to empaths. A lot of you guys that watch this channel are empathic. In fact, initially I attracted so many empaths to this channel, and I had so much going on these YouTube streets that people kind of started to avoid watching me because the energy and the information that I was receiving from people that dislike me or have a problem with me, this was constantly being translated out to my subscribers, and I am so sorry about that. This is something that is a part of being an empath that you ultimately have to gain control over. So I want to talk to you guys about that, especially coming up right before the holiday season, and with everything that's going on. So many different people in this world, so many different people with their opinions of this and their opinions of that, that are in social media, and people that want to literally force their belief systems off on you. For example, people that don't believe in witchcraft, or people that don't like witchcraft, or people that don't celebrate the holidays, or people that feel like, oh, this is a pagan holiday, and you know, every single thing. For some reason, my own people, as much as I love and adore my own people in our culture, I think that they take everything as an insult and are very defensive about certain things, you know, especially when it comes to the holidays. You know, Halloween, they was hanging niggas. Thanksgiving, they was hanging niggas. Easter, it was because they was hanging niggas. You know what I'm saying? So they can, my own people, and I'll talk to y'all. Y'all know I'll talk to y'all just like y'all my cousin or my brother, and it doesn't matter to me, because I think that a lot of people do need to wake up and stop choosing to be miserable during these times, honestly. And that's what our ancestors are there for. In fact, a couple of years ago, I was going through some crazy stuff. I had packed up my U-Haul when I had moved out of my old house. And I had no idea that I was like I ended up calling movers. Actually, I thought I'd be able to do it myself, and I got to moving that stuff into the U-Haul, and oh my God, I was so ooh, I was sore. I was going through it, and probably added to a lot of the spiritual attacks that I was getting for some reason around that same time. But I had to just go and lay down in the bed. I couldn't move. And I remember calling my ancestors, and them just being very healing, to the point where I felt at such peace, and I felt so much happiness, and I felt so much joy. So I know how all of this stuff works, okay? If you are an empath, you are literally not only feeling people's energies that are close to you, but also the world. Just kind of what's going on universally. The world is in a turmoil, it's up and down. We got a lot of crazy, crazy, crazy stuff going on. In fact, today I went, for some reason I was compelled, I saw the number 98, and so I went to look back at what was going on in 1998. And it was a lot going on in 1998. If you just go look that up, at the year of 1998. And for some reason, spirits leads me to go and look at history, to kind of also see what kind of spirits, what kind of energy that we're seeing that could be either repeating itself or either manifesting itself for some reason. So if you are an empath, you are extremely sensitive. And an empath, typically when it comes to empathic people, they are usually very good people. They are people that are humanitarians. They're usually not the type of people that are just going to go out and do harm to people. And that's the truth. So if you see somebody claiming to be an empath and they're gang stalking people, then they're either confused or they're not actually an empath, or either they're a bad empath. Keep in mind that there are very bad empaths that use their spiritual gifts for evil. Okay. So if you are empathic, being an empath, really, how people can get you is through the subconscious. Okay. And so if you've got certain things that are going on, if you're doing certain things with yourself, and you're doing certain things for yourself or your family, there may be outside influences that either want you dead, want you sick, want you to be unhappy, want you to be broke, want you to be sad. And being an empath can make you extremely vulnerable to illness, sickness, and all of those things. And so, being that you're vulnerable, people that want to do you harm will play on that, will play on your empathic gifts because they know you're an empath. And so, what they will do is they will psychically attack you. Okay, so psychic attacks are something that can be extremely devastating to the empath. Okay, and the way that that you guys are going to have an amazing holiday, the way that you guys are going to be able to manifest all year long, is to make sure that your empathic gifts are not open to your enemies. Okay, now they have groups of people and they have gang stalkers that know that you're an empath, and you can even see what they do. They say things to you and they expect for you to feel their pain, right? So they will say things to you that they expect that will hurt you, that actually are hurting them. And it's been proven that when people are attacking you for absolutely no reason, it's because they're hurting. They're very deeply, deeply hurt. I am one of those people that have explained to people that it is something that if you have negative energy, it is best for you to cleanse. Don't project, cleanse, transmute, and heal. We got a lot of people in this world that don't want to listen to that. They just want to they just want to project their crap onto other people, or either medicated with some kind of medication, which is your choice. I don't judge people. Okay. I don't suggest it, but I don't judge people. During this time of the year, people's pain and suffering tends to magnify during the holidays. In fact, there's a lot of people that commit suicide on Christmas. That they become very depressed. Maybe it's related to some kind of memory that they have, or either an experience, or maybe they themselves are being psychically attacked and they don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept the information. They just want to blow the information off, and not protect themselves. So I want to give a message to the empaths, and you are more than welcome to contact me for empath protection from enemies. Probably the reason why you guys are waking up feeling like crap is because your enemies are projecting their pain and their suffering onto you. That's simply why this is happening. Their sicknesses, it may be making you feel sick. It may be making you feel some type of way, just feeling like you're not yourself. This is because of not only projecting bad energy onto you, but also harvesting your healing energy. For some reason, people that are hurting, instead of them actually learning to self-heal, what they are doing is projecting pain and suffering onto other people and then energy harvesting, which is a huge mistake. Okay, it's a huge mistake. I can tell you, as a professional healer as well as a spiritual healer, this is not the way to go at all. I do not suggest this. I do not suggest vampirism, what they call vampire magic. There's nothing magical about vampiring off of other people. It's not. Okay, because what you're doing is especially when you look at a person that is in my position. Somebody in my position has to be very careful of my energy. If I am not feeling well, or if my body and my mind and my spirit is not well, then I won't manifest. And so your enemies understand that. Okay, they understand that, which is why they project sickness, they project mental illnesses, they project all kind of stuff onto you. So what is going to save your life forever, not just during the holidays, but just forever, and I spoke about this over the summertime, is blocking off your empathic abilities to your enemies. You've got to do it. You don't need to be feeling their pain for no reason. For no reason. There is no reason. There's all sorts of self-help. There's meditation. There's crystals. There's herbs. Your enemies have no excuse for doing this to you. Now, as an empath and a healer and a witch, I have to use my spiritual gifts for my clients. Otherwise, I won't be no good to do no work for nobody. Okay. And so, for example, if you're feeling sick because somebody else was feeling sick, or either they're sending stuff to you, um, and typically this is stuff that's coming in through the mind. Sickness and illnesses come through the mind. However, whatever your mind is telling your body to do, that's what it's going to do. So people will be sitting at home with skull candles. They'll be feeling sick, and instead of them actually taking the steps to heal themselves, they will actually use a skull candle to fuck with your head. And when your mind ain't free, your body ain't free. So that's why a lot of you guys, this is really what the Toyota Corolla is about. Shh, don't tell nobody, because they can't handle it. Protect your empathic gifts and be very specific about protecting them. Because if you're not feeling well, your health is your wealth. We all know that. And so your enemies will say, well, I'm going to send bad energy to her to make her mind sick, to make her body sick. This is why a lot of you are not feeling well. This is why a lot of you guys have no energy. Okay. And when that is happening to you, you're actually not healing. You're actually staying at a certain spot and you're not healing. When somebody is constantly psychically attacking you, they found a way into the subconscious to do things to you. Now, it's funny, the prophetic dream that I had, I'm going to discuss that. It was all about the jab. And I'll never forget this dream. Well, I'm going to try to forget it. But I was in a car, and I was in the back seat of the car, and it was a man driving, and he turns around and he throws a needle at my throat. Right? I'm like, what the hell? So I jump out of the car, and the substance that was in the needle, it wasn't anything to knock me out, but I think that it was a manifestation of the jab. Some of the people that had the jab, they are actually either afraid of getting sick, or either they are not feeling well. They're feeling sick. They don't feel right since they've gotten it. And that's why I'll never get it. Okay. You're not going to ever see me encouraging anybody to get that jab. It's not for me. Now, if you've had the jab, There's certain ways that you can heal yourself, but again, they don't want to listen to healers when they tell them how to heal themselves because they're totally trusting of the medical industry, which I do not trust at all, them at all. Okay. Um, and so in this dream, I jump out of the car and I'm like, what the fuck did you put in me? And I go and there's a house. And this little old white lady runs out of the house and some little kids run out after her. And she's like a crone. And she's got long silver hair. And I mean, really long silver hair, very short lady. I believe it was an ancestor of mine. Like I said, I do have white and native ancestors. So, and so she runs out of the house and she's like, oh, I couldn't stand the fumes. Something she was talking about the fumes. And then I woke myself up. Okay. I believe that this was communication about that, and then especially more people that are getting the jab that do tend to project the negative energy from it onto other people, which of course, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with getting a shot that is supposed to prevent you from getting the sickness, but then you get the sickness anyway. And we all have the right to live the way that we want to live. I think that if our government were to try to start forcing us to do that, I would probably choose to leave this country if that's what they were doing, because I don't need it. And in fact, I know that a lot of this stuff is very psychosomatic. And I'm one of those people that just knows that because, I just did a ritual earlier today. There were people that were projecting shit onto me. I was being attacked by several different sources today. Boy, it was making me feel sick as hell. I got up. It was so weird. The second I did my ritual on blocking my empathic gifts from those people, instantly felt better. So a lot of you guys need to do that as psychic defense. I even did an exorcism incantation, and I didn't feel better after the exorcism incantation. So it wasn't a negative spirit, it was negative energy. This is what's hurting people, is negative energy. The second I did that, I felt better. I woke up feeling like I was dying, getting ready. I was like, damn, do I got to go to the hospital? No. Okay, I'm a very healthy person. And so I've been getting attacked for like a week straight for some reason, just, and so, I don't really discuss the medical witchcraft that goes on. This is something that is very, very common but hidden. I typically discuss that with you guys in private. But what I can tell you is that you're going to need fire. You're going to need some kind of crystal, in particular selenite. Okay. So there's a ritual that I do offer for clients that blocks off your empathic gifts from your enemies. Being an empath is a blessing, but it is also a curse. Because at times where you're supposed to be feeling good, feeling fine, you're not, because of people projecting stuff onto you. Now, being an empath, people are not supposed to be doing that. For example, earlier today when I did my live, there were some people that genuinely was not happy for me. In fact, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm basically in the poorhouse, very humble. I'm not rich at all, but there's certain people that were watching, and that's why I've suggested for them to not watch me, because me simply earning that amount of money hurt them. And it doesn't make any sense for it to hurt them. Like, that doesn't make any sense to y'all. It don't make no sense. It doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense. Thank you, sweetie. Hey, hey, can you bring me some root beer? So I'm back, y'all. So sometimes when you're getting bombarded with that kind of energy, especially if they're attacking you when they know that you're asleep, what will happen is that you'll have this confusion. A lot of you guys that go to sleep feeling fine and you wake up feeling like crap, it's literally because people are sending you bad energy, or either they're projecting their sicknesses, their illnesses onto you. This is not fair, especially when it's so much information out there on healing. And so protect your empathic gifts, which is actually the deep subconscious. The deep subconscious is what you have to protect. And it's very simple. Just protect it. Okay. In fact, most people don't have the ability to curse you, but they can send you bad energy. For example, I was feeling bad energy from somebody earlier that was on cholesterol medicine. A lot of these people insist on taking these dangerous drugs from the pharmacy, but the side effects, they'll project them onto other people. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, there's an empath. There's a sponge. Let me send that to her. But you can't really, like for me, I have to be healthy and I have to be ready for my clients. And then also, I'm only 44 years old. I'm not an old lady. I shouldn't be feeling like that. And so basically, if you are an empath, it is very important to keep yourself healthy, for you to protect your empathic gifts, for you to protect them. And then especially if you have witchy children, and your children are very empathic. I have a son who is a Pisces god, so he's very sensitive, very. And so I'm very, very overprotective of him because he picks up on everything and he's a baby, and he needs to be protected because he's a child. Okay. And for some reason, adults these days feel that it's justice to attack your children. I still don't understand that. In fact, I was watching him in his sleep and he made a funny noise, and I jolted. Whenever you see anybody struggling in their sleep, wake their asses up. It's almost like the Freddy Krueger movie, Nightmare Before M Street. If you ever see anybody struggling in their sleep, wake them up. Okay, because what that does is that cuts off the connection, and I immediately protected my son's subconscious. You're gonna have to do that for your kids. It's not that big of a deal. Now, if you've been beaten down and you just have all this negative energy, and you just, that's what I'm here for. And I have to keep myself healthy. In fact, I'm not even saying anything negative about the medical industry itself. A lot of people think that that's what I'm saying, or the medical workers. There are a lot of healing angels that work in the medical field, but then again, you also got your nurse ratchets as well. So like, for example, I had a horrible, absolutely horrible empathic attack, which we equate that as panic attack. This was years ago. I called an ambulance. I said, I'm at to, oh Lord. And the people, the paramedics, they came in and they said, I said, am I dying? They said, well, you definitely don't look like you dying. You look fine to me. And they said, you're having anxiety. They said, you know how to calm yourself down. So every now and then I run into people that are in the medical industry and work as even emergency paramedics. And, they were able to basically, tell me, they were like, you're fine. And so any other person that may have been paranoid would have been like, Y'all just don't want me to get no help. And it wasn't like that, you know. By the time they left, I went outside, I sat outside, I got some fresh air. I walked barefoot on the grass and I felt fine and felt, in fact, I felt better than I'd ever felt. And I thanked them for doing that, because a lot of people like to send you that energy to get you all riled up, because you can't really manifest and function like that. In fact, stuff like that can make you sick. And there are some people that have it in their heart to do that to you. They just want to see you sad and messed up. Okay, so protect your empathic gifts. Make sure that you do it with fire. In fact, a couple of years ago, I kept black candles lit. And what spirit told me shortly after that, like I would have a black 7-day candle going. As soon as the 7-day candle was done, I'd light another one. And as soon as that one was done, I'd light another one. And what I realized is that I'm protecting my empath gifts, because people are not doing curses. They are psychically attacking you. Okay. And some people don't have nothing else better to do than to psychically attack you all damn day. And you have to protect yourself. Okay. So if you guys want to know more about that, you guys can contact me. And I do offer that ritual. I don't have it up on my website yet, but I will put that up there. I've been adding my rituals to that. But Spirit came to me tonight and they said, listen, somebody is attacking your empathy, your empathic gift. So you don't have to completely not be an empath anymore. The solution is not to, it's not to not feel. That's not the solution, but the solution is to specifically block your empathic skills to people that mean to do you harm. Because during that time, they can make you sick. They can make you not feel well. They can interfere with your meditations. It's totally disgusting. And so that's one of the reasons why we summon Shiva. Okay. But Shiva will show you the way, and then as well as Kali Ma. I love Shiva and Kali Ma. You know, those are my gods that I work with, as well as Lord Ganesha, Vishnu, and Lakshmi. Okay. So make sure that you guys are aware of that. Okay. Because honestly, I know how to psychically attack somebody. I just don't do it. I don't have time for it. Okay, it's just like earlier today, I was watching what's the name of that movie? The Long Kiss Goodnight. I was watching that earlier with Gina Davis. Very, very good movie. And it almost felt like somebody was trying to electrocute me earlier today when I woke up. So it was really, really some bad energy that was being sent to me. I guess to punish me, because I just refused to fold. And I don't do that, you know. In high school, when I was in high school, all of my classmates described me as relentless. They said, what would be the one word that you would use to describe Jamila? And somebody said relentless. Now keep in mind, I was very quiet. I didn't really talk much. I didn't have a whole bunch of friends, but because I'm like that. I don't relent. I don't fold for nobody, especially when it comes to my angels and my guides, and then God. You know, I'm always, and see, God is always going to give you the answer. Okay. And I pretty much try to stay away from situations that can bring me negative karma, to where I feel like I have to psychically attack somebody. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it depends. If you messing with somebody that I love, I notice as a witch, people are constantly messing with the people that I love and then blaming it on me. That's something that I really have a problem with. So spirit gonna handle them people. But make sure that y'all do that. Even my enemies. You know what? Guess what? The reason why you're attacking me is probably because somebody else is attacking you. However, the energies that we're dealing with is jealousy, the evil eye. Okay. Hello, Chelsea. Hello. Hey. Hey. So that's what's happening. Okay. You know, a majority of my day, 99% of my day, And even when I'm doing my rituals, even when I'm battling with demons, it's very, very easy. God protects me through the whole process. In fact, I don't have to be angry when I am exorcising a demon. Okay, it's a very peaceful process. So whenever I have any kind of bad energy, I know that it's being sent to me. Okay, and see, I know this for a fact because the first 3 years of my career and the first 3 years that I was in Georgia, I was cleansing myself. Okay, and I took a lot of baths, in particular with cinnamon. Okay, cinnamon is a miracle, absolute miracle. Cinnamon is, believe it or not. If you don't have any other herb or spice, cinnamon is where it's at. You throw some of that off in your bath and make sure it's dissolved really well. But I was able to heal, especially the sickness of diabetes, which is an energy that was definitely run. It's so they say that it runs in your family or whatever, which I'm not in agreement with that. Especially, it seemed like people are getting these sicknesses younger and younger, which means that you're being recruited or indoctrinated in a belief that you're either going to be sick or you're sick with some kind of ailment. And so I'm a firm believer in what I talk about, and I live by it. There would be no way that I would be on here preaching to the choir while taking a blood pressure medicine. I just wouldn't do it. It's just not me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, did you? I know that's right. Well, you know what? Pray for that narcissist. Narcissistic people are just confused. Okay, don't ever get to the point where you hate a narcissist because that's what the demons want. Okay, because a narcissist is not the same as a witch. They look at witches as being narcissistic, but I guess if you call trusting in your spirits, if you call trusting in God, and if you call trusting in having faith and belief in self, I guess if that's narcissistic, which it's not. So I'm very confident in what I do and what I talk about because I have a faith, a very strong faith, which, there are some people that do have very strong faith, but they could be very bad people. So I think that, narcissistic people, they have went on the side of wrong, because of, what they do to people energetically. But I also think that, narcissistic people can heal themselves because I used to be narcissistic a little. I was about 60% narcissistic years ago until I had an angel come into my life. And I thank God that he put me on the correct path because I was actually raised to be a narc. I was raised, and there's no way. I'm so happy and so lucky and so blessed that, thank you. I'm so blessed that I didn't go down that path. And so I'm hoping to be able to lead other narcissists down a better path. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about trust. And I don't have a belief that anybody can harm me, but I think that they can try to make you think that they can harm you. The moment you believe that somebody can do harm to you, they will. So, if you guys need to reach me, I do have an empath protection school, empath defense school that I teach to people. The Hecate's Realm courses, I don't offer them anymore. But as far as beginner's magic, intermediate magic, and advanced magic courses, I do offer those. And then as well as empath survival. Because there's been a lot of empaths that have, I don't want to scare nobody, but it's been some crazy off the wall stuff that has happened. So if you protect that spiritual gift and you block that area of the mind, which is it the temporal lobe? I'm gonna have to research that. It's an area of your brain that makes you empathic. And you don't ever want to experience empathic burnout either, because then that will completely make you lose your ability to feel what you want to be able to feel. But you want to specify that you don't want to feel other people's pain to that capacity, because these things can literally debilitate you. they can debilitate you. Okay, it can be very debilitating. So I'm always here for you guys. I love you so much. Happy holidays to you guys. Yes, the Yule Circle is open. And then also make sure that you guys don't try to just get in the Yule Circle. Make sure that if you have the funding for the rituals that you need, that you get them, because that Yule Circle, it's more so for venerating the ancestors, and it's not necessarily, and then also honoring certain energies, okay? Because we going to the North Pole, which I love the North Pole and Father Odin and things of that nature. But, you know, don't be cheap. Don't be afraid to invest in yourselves spiritually. Okay. So you guys will be good. But so that circle is open. I haven't put out the actual information, but you guys will be fine. You'll find that you'll have less psychic attacks. You'll have less anxiety. You'll have less sicknesses. You won't be sick all the time. And you owe it to yourself and your family to not be just sick all the time. Okay, and you know what, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have been in, you know, in positions to where I have felt that way, and it's not about necessarily healing. You're healed, but it's the subconscious. The way that people are messing you up is subconsciously. They are doing head work on you, and the rabbit hole goes so much deeper than you could even imagine. And those things we do not discuss out in the open with the public. Okay, we don't discuss that. But I'll give you guys a hint. There's been several doctors that have came out and was honest about it. They said the reason why people are getting sick is because of negativity. Medical doctors that have had years and years of training. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so for more information, like I said, in a personal analysis, and especially during my readings, I always have my empath protection up because I want to be able to see the issue, but I don't want to feel it, because if I feel it, I'll get sick. You know what I'm saying? I'll start to feel what you feel, and I won't be any good for you if I'm constantly feeling what you're feeling, especially when it's been magnetized and then also exacerbated for somebody else's agenda. Okay. And there's all sorts of treatments. Aromatherapy is amazing. It is aromatherapy, water therapy. Uh, you know, those things actually do work, but you do want to use fire. Okay, and so that's why we heat our water. If you get in a tub of warm water, that's considered to be fire and water. Okay, so those things will soothe you. They will heal you. Taking spiritual baths are definitely very healing. I can attest to that, and then a lot of my clients can testify to that as well. You know, you just have to, don't go through the motions. I find people going through the motions but not actually experiencing it, and it does kind of make it feel like, is this kind of unreal? But you got folks out there that are sort of bending reality, and that's very hazardous, very hazardous. Okay. All right, guys. I do have a couple of openings this week. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So you guys are free to go to the website. You guys are free to cash at me. All of my information is below. Some of you guys that got the empath protection 3 or 6 months ago, you're gonna either have to do it again or either learn how to do it, because that's why you're angry. You're experiencing a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of depression. And it's mainly because you're an empath. Most of y'all that watch me are empaths. Even people that are bad people are empaths. They just went down the wrong road somewhere. They went down the, yeah. Well, that's good, Chelsea. That's good. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Look internally, okay? Narcissistic people, even though they are annoying as hell sometimes, they are teaching you something. Every negative thing is teaching you something. Every negative thing. Your inner compass, your inner self. Look at self. If you are an empath and you're experiencing being sick every day and you're experiencing self-medicating or you're experiencing something, it's more than likely because you're picking up on energy. And it's not just energy from other people. You're picking up on energies from probably cell phone towers. You're probably picking up on energies from having, and some of y'all are getting negative stuff from several different sources. Okay, so I want y'all to truly enjoy the last couple of months of this year. I don't want everybody to be, caught up in that. But since the world has been miseducated, a lot of people don't know, which is why we have a lot of people that freak out during the holidays. And actually, what it really is it's blessings coming in, but then again there's entities that will transmute those blessings into negative as well. So keep that in mind. And if you're a witch, it will affect your rituals. It'll affect your rituals if you're not aware of this. Okay, don't take any of this information that I'm giving to you to do harm to somebody. People have got to get over that. The more harm that you cause can cause more harm to you. Now, I did do some baneful Samhain magic, which I was very entitled to for the protection of myself. So that's not why it was, in response to that, they want to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, slinging poop at each other. But in reality, the way that they're getting in your subconscious is because you're an empath. Okay, and you don't want to, so it's not that you block your empathic gifts, it's that you block them from other sources, and they hate that because that's how they're getting in, is through your empathy. Okay. All right, guys, I will see y'all later. I love you guys. Over and out. That's my new thing, over and out. Bye, y'all.